Alright guys, so in today's video I'm going to show you how to cook the perfect steak and cut the perfect avocado. Coming up. Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to get the perfect steak. Now today we're doing ribeye. I got two different cuts of ribeye. One is a half pound, the other one is a full pound. Now that's just because Steven and I will eat different amounts. This one's for Steven, this one's for me. So the real secret here is that you really want your steak to be at room temperature. So pull your steaks out about an hour before you're going to cook them. That's going to make sure that they cook evenly, and that's what you really want when you're cooking a steak like this, especially if you're going for like a rare, like how we go for. And then next what you want to do is you want to salt your steak. So you come closer, babe. You'll see here I've salted the steaks and it's drawing out some of the extra moisture from the steak itself. And I've had them sitting like this for probably a couple minutes. So what you're going to want to do is after you salt them, you're going to come over and pat them dry with your paper towel. And that's just going to remove some of the excess moisture that's on the steak. And it's going to make it much more crispy and delicious when it hits the pan. So we're going to do that. Another thing that I think is a key for steak is having a heavy bottom pan, and I've been letting this pan sit for about 10 minutes on medium high. Now I could go high, I don't want to do that because we live in an apartment and it's going to set the smoke detector off. So I set it on medium high, that gets it good and hot, and you want to make sure your pan is hot. I mean, you want to start to see little wisps of smoke, which if you can see it, that's starting to happen with this pan, and that's exactly what you want. That's exactly how hot you want your pan to be. So I'm going to take these steaks and you're going to salt the crap out of them, because you know what? They need it. Not that they don't taste good on their own, but it really helps to get a nice crust going on your steak. So you're going to take that. And I just do salt and pepper on my steaks. I don't do anything fancy. It doesn't need it. And then we're going to flip it over. Same thing on the other side. Now these steaks are different thicknesses, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cooking the bigger one first because I want these both to be done at the same time. So I'm going to take this first steak here. You hear that sound? That's exactly what you want to hear. So I'm going to let this steak go for about maybe 2 minutes on this side. And as soon as it's ready to flip over, I'm going to put this steak down. So then that way both of these steaks will be rare when they come out. So you can go ahead and stop it now. Ready? Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this steak and we're going to start searing off the fat cap that's on the sides, because you want to make sure that that at least has some browning to it. You know, it just makes it taste good. You're going to hold it just like that with your tongs. It's hot, I know. If you're not comfortable working over a stove, don't do this yet. Work your way up to it. You don't have to do this yet. You can cook your steaks outside on the grill, but you can literally cook a steak inside a one-bedroom apartment, and it tastes delicious and better than a steakhouse. So, we're going to flip that onto its side, and then we're going to add in our other steak. We're going to let that start to crisp up. Now this smaller steak is probably going to go for about 1.5 minutes for each side, just because it's so thin and we're looking for rare. Alright, so this steak has been searing on the one side. Woo! We're going to sear it a little bit on its side here, and then we're going to flip this baby over. We're going to let that start to brown up a little bit, and now here is where the most flavor comes in when you're making steaks in the pan. So you're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter. I highly recommend Kerrygold butter for this. If you're gonna buy Kerrygold butter, use it for this before anything. So, you're gonna let that butter foam up. And this, guys, is where all of that flavor starts to come into play, because this butter is going to start browning a little bit, and it's going to start imposing that very nutty brown butter flavor on your steak. That's what you want. That's where you're going to get like maximum, like really good flavor out of this. So we can feel this steak here, nice and rare. You feel this steak here, nice and rare. All right, our butter is melted. It's nice and foamy. And what you're going to want to do is take a big spoon and then tilt your pan ever so slightly, just to get a little pool of butter going right there. And then you're going to baste your steaks with this butter. And guys, this is hands down probably the #1 way to make a steak. If you want to baste it in its juices and that good butter. And now look at that, like glistening, almost like sauce it kind of gives the steak. So you can do it a couple of times, but you don't want to overcook your steaks. If you ask me, you don't really want to cook your steak past rare. So we're going to turn this heat off, and then you can put them on a separate plate to rest, but then you're not going to get all the juices that come off. So I'm going to go ahead, lay that steak down. And if you've already got everything else prepped beforehand, you can just let your steaks hang out for about a good 5 or 7 minutes before you start cutting into them. And then the last finishing touch that you really should do is take that butter and leftover juices from the steak and put it all over your steak, because that is going to make this meal something very special. So, thanks guys for watching. Hey guys, this is Jordan, and today I'm going to show you how I get my avocado to be the way I get it to be in all of my food pictures. So, come on over and we're going to get it started. Now, first thing you want to do is look for an avocado that has a firm feel but is slightly soft to the touch. That's what I always look for, and I already did this, but you should be able to lift the stem out with no resistance at all, maybe like the tiniest bit of resistance, and that'll tell you that the avocado is perfectly ripe for slicing anyway. So anyway, I take the avocado, a little knife, and I just go around like this, like I'm sure many of you do, like that. Twist it. Look at that. So, now this is where, this is where I start to make everything happen. So, take the avocado like this, and you should be able to just peel the skin right off of it. And this is key for keeping it together. So you want to peel the skin off, and then I lay it down. And then, because I don't really like using a knife to get the pit out, I've actually cut myself doing that before, so I choose not to. I just squeeze it, and then usually the pit will just come right out of the other side. And then I'll do the same exact thing for the other plate. Peel the skin off, like so. Lay it down. Wipe your hands off. And then, with your knife, now if your avocado is a good firmness, it'll hold together when you do this. So, anyway, take my knife, and if you want the slices to stay together, do this motion with your fingers. So you're going to cut through, keep your finger on the other side of the blade, don't cut through your finger, and you're going to hold that slice in place. And you're going to do that until you slice the whole avocado. And do it on both of them. Just like so. Now you could do this on a cutting board. I do it on a cutting board, but it gets messy with the whole transferring, so I decided to just leave it on the plate. And then you want to take your hand like this. You want to hold the avocado in place with your other hand so that the pieces don't go flying. And you want to take your hand and gently push against the slices so that they start to fan out. And you want to do that until you get it, because let's be real, we eat with our eyes. So you want to get it to a point where it lays flat like that. And you do it with both of them. And then, if you're cutting your avocado before the rest of your meal is ready, what I recommend doing, because it tastes good and you should do it, is a little lemon. So I just squeeze a little lemon over top of the slices like that. That'll keep it from going brown. And then you want to salt it. We use pink Himalayan sea salt. I'll do that over top. That's going to give you like the best flavor. And then if you guys want to, you can use the everything but the bagel seasoning. Now I get this one from Trader Joe's. I know Walmart makes a good one too. So whichever one you want. I like this one. I've had this for like 6 months, so. And then you can put a little on top of your avocado just like that.